What's your name, age, and which country are you representing here?
My name is Irina Krush, and I'm 30 years old and playing for the United States.
Where were you born, and where do you live now?
I was born in Odessa, which was then the USSR. Now it's the Ukraine. And I was going to say, for now, it's still the Ukraine. Okay, that's my little joke. And I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I've been living there since I was 5 years old.
And what age did you learn the rules of chess, and who taught you?
My father taught me to play around that age, around the age of 5.
So, actually, you learned in America or the Soviet Union? Which one?
Well, I think I actually started to learn somewhere in between. Not in the Soviet Union, and I started to learn the rules before we got to America because we spent a couple of months in immigration. And as we were in those places where we spent about 3 months in Italy, and as we were there, my father, we didn't have much to do, so my father decided to start teaching me the game.
And is your father a very keen chess player?
I would say he's a keen chess player. He was a very, let's say, advanced amateur, so he's not a 1500 player. I would say his understanding of chess probably is around the master level. Of course, it's been so many years that he hasn't played that practically speaking, it's not going to be at the master level, but positional things he understands very well. So he even tries to give me advice now. And sometimes he's actually right.
So which board are you playing on the American team, and what's your current ELO rating?
I'm playing board 1 for the US team, and my current rating is 2474.
Do you have a chess hero, or when you were first learning, did you have a chess hero?
I really didn't have a hero growing up, and recently I came across Judith Polgar's trio of books about her career, and I started reading the first one, which was How I Beat Bobby Fischer's Record. It's the story of her career up to the age of 15, and I was thinking, it's too bad I didn't read that book when I was a little girl, that it just, wasn't available, a book like that. And because for sure she would have been someone I would have looked up to. I mean, I'm reading this book now and I'm just like so impressed, just by what a brilliant player she was and is. And but when I was little, somehow Judith was not like such a like a hero to me, or a role model. I mean, I knew she was a great player, but somehow I wasn't even that familiar with her games. I studied Botvinnik and Capablanca and Tal. I studied the world champions. These days, I really like the games of Magnus Carlsen. I'm sure a lot of people say that just because he's such a good fighter.
And what's the favorite game that you've played yourself? Is there one that stands out in your mind?
A game that stands out. I played one game. This is the game that I mentioned for Chess Magazine, for the British magazine, in terms of like your favorite move or your favorite game. In that question, it was a game from the Continental Championship in 2003, where I sacrificed a knight on 2 consecutive moves, and that was pretty cool, just putting an emprise to a pawn.
And who was that against?
Now he's a Bolivian grandmaster, Oswaldo Zambrana.
And do you have a favorite opening?
A favorite opening? Well, my whole life I've played the Sicilian, but I've also done pretty well with the Queen C2 Nimzo, which I won with today, by the way.
That's a very Russian answer somehow, very solid. And outside chess, do you have time for any hobbies?
Outside chess, do I have time for hobbies? I would say I have time to dabble in some hobbies. Nothing, chess definitely takes up the greater part of my time, just training, going to tournaments. I feel like my whole life, I'm basically living out of a suitcase, I come home, I don't even unpack one and I pack another one. So
you're a professional at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, chess is what I do. I mean, I do some teaching, not only tournaments. So sometimes my suitcase is packed to go teach, chess camps somewhere in the US. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I'm playing chess, and my hobbies, I would say, I like photography, and that's something that I can combine well with chess because I get to travel, and there's no better way to take pictures than when you're traveling, right? It's just the best opportunity. So I like to write, and I also combine those things, and sometimes I write about my travels and illustrate them with my photos. Those are my main interests. I did hip-hop dance for a while. I did yoga. But now my big aspiration is just to find time to go to the gym.
And finally, Kirzan or Gary?
I thought someone should ask that question. Well, I think first of all, I really always liked Fide's motto, "Gens una sumus." I mean, I really. And I don't just say that because it's like politically correct. I really believe in that, and I think in this political campaign, it should be really like a game of chess. There'll be a winner and there'll be a loser, but there should be respect for your opponent, right? So I don't see just the person you beat is not the person you have to hate. So I think it's time for a change. I think just like in most countries, we have limits to terms, how long you can serve as president. I think that would make sense in the chess world. I don't see why one person would be president for 20 years of an organization. Why not have new blood? So for that reason, I'm interested to see what Gary would do, what kind of changes he would bring to the chess world. But at the same time, but I'm not an anti-Ilumzhinov person either. I think I believe that he loves chess and he's done a pretty good deal to personally support it over the years. So I appreciate his contributions, but I would be happy to see a change.
Thank you, Irina.